Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's What's for Dinner video. I'm Jennifer if you're new here, and I'm a stay-at-home wife and a mom to two boys with one little girl on the way. I share these videos every single week to hopefully give you some ideas and inspiration on quick and easy meals to feed your family. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in and you have not subscribed already, what are you waiting on? We would love to have you. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. We're gonna get on into the video now, guys. Alrighty, I'm going to start this one off by heating up 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my large skillet here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1/4 cup of diced yellow onion, and we're going to saute them until they are nice and softened. Alright, we got us 2 chicken breasts here. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some salt and pepper to get them seasoned up. And I'm going to go ahead and add them into my skillet to brown. Once they're nice and cooked up, we're going to go ahead and move them to one side of the skillet. We're going to add in 1 more tablespoon of olive oil, and we're going to add in 1 cup of rice. Next, I'm going to go ahead and let this rice saute for about 2 minutes until some of the grains start to turn brown. Alright, next I'm adding in 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans, 1 can of diced tomatoes that I did not drain, two and a half cups of chicken broth, and for the seasonings, I just went ahead and put them all together here, but this is 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, smoked paprika, and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and combine all these ingredients and allow this all to come to a simmer. We'll go ahead and cover this and allow it to cook for about 20 minutes or until the rice is done. Alrighty, and the last thing we're going to add here, you guessed it, is going to be 1 cup of Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. I'm going to go ahead and allow this to melt on top, so I did recover this for just a couple of minutes, and dinner was done. This would also be delicious in the middle of a tortilla, but it was also amazing by itself. So I topped mine with fresh tomatoes, green onion, sour cream, and avocado. Alright, to start off here, I'm going to go ahead and season my pork chops on both sides with some salt and pepper. And to my large skillet here, I am heating up 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And once that's nice and hot, I'm going to go ahead and add my pork chops in, and we're going to allow them to cook for 3 to 5 minutes per side. Obviously, that depends on how thick your pork chops are. All right, once the pork chops are finished cooking there, I'm just going to go ahead and transfer them to a plate and set them aside. And we're going to go ahead and add in another tablespoon of butter. And it was supposed to be a whole head of garlic, but apparently this night I couldn't read, so I only did 2 cloves of garlic. And we're just going to allow the garlic to brown for about 2 minutes, but, you know, don't burn it, things like that, like me, you know. I still have my pan a little too hot, I believe. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and move the garlic over to one side and add in 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm going to give that a good stir for about 30 seconds to make a quick roux. Up next, I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of chicken broth, and then I'll add in a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. And the good thing about this, better than bouillon, is you can control how much broth you're making, and you don't have extra left over to try to figure out what to do with it. See that goodness starting to thicken up? Yeah, baby. All right, next up, I'm going ahead and add in 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to go ahead and mix that up really well. And we're going to go ahead and add in 1/4 teaspoon of a garlic powder, and this is where I realized that I had officially let us run out of garlic powder. I don't know what in the world I was thinking. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and add these pork chops back to this creamy deliciousness that we got going on here in this skillet. And we're going to allow the pork chops to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes just to warm back up. And you guys, this creamy sauce was so delicious. I could literally drink it. It was so good. I served this with an air fried baked potato, roasted broccoli, and a breadstick. All right, and here in my small skillet, I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with some nonstick spray, and I'm going to brown up 1 pound of hamburger meat. Once brown, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a handful of diced onion and allow them to soften, along with 1 container of chopped mushrooms. All right, over here in my large pot, I am going to go ahead and boil up a 1/2 box of this penne pasta as directed by the box. And then once they are done, I'm going to go ahead and drain those. Alrighty, to my noodles, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 jar of this great value marinara sauce and the cooked hamburger meat that I burned because my son's friend's parent called and I got distracted. That is my life. All right, now that I have everything in this pot, I'm going to go ahead and combine it well. All right, so I decided to use this smaller dish here because it's just us and we don't need it in a 13 by 9. So here we're going to go ahead and layer this because we need cheese all up in the middle. So first things first is going to be the noodles and meat mixture, and then I'm throwing in whatever cheese I've got here. This happens to be Fiesta, so it is what it is. Next, we're going to go ahead and throw on another layer of the meat and noodle mixture. And then for the top, I'm going to go ahead and throw on a bunch of mozzarella. I didn't measure, I just went about it however much I thought I needed, which was the entire bag. Alright, next up I'm going to go ahead and use these turkey pepperonis here, and I'm just going to make one layer on the top of the mozzarella. And you guessed it, more cheese, Parmesan this time. So now I'm going to go ahead and cover this with some tin foil, and I'm going to allow it to cook in a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. Once the time is up, I went ahead and removed it from the oven, uncovered it, and allowed it to cook for about 10 more minutes. You guys, this was really delicious. I think you guys should try it out. Let me know if you do. I served this with a toasted English muffin on the side because, well, they were about to go out of date. Alrighty, I'm going to start this one off by preparing my rice. I usually make about 1.5 cups of dry rice for my crowd, and you know, better than bouillon makes it better. Alright, so here I've got 2 chicken breasts that have already been cut in half, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut them into bite-sized pieces. Oh yes, we gotta add the rice in. Oops, forgot. Alright, so really quick, I want to take a second to tell y'all about this neat new gadget that Kitchen Mama has sent me. If you have been here for a little bit, you know I already have and love their can opener. This here is an automatic lighted salt and pepper grinder. Never knew there was such a thing. This white dial on the top lets you control the coarseness of whatever you are grinding, and the bottom portion here has a very large capacity. To remove, you just unscrew, fill her up, and screw it back on. How does it work, you ask? Under this lovely teal top here, with a simple turn, the cover comes off, and this is where the batteries are stored. It takes 6 AAA batteries. Let's try her out, shall we? This was the first time I was using this night, so we are trying it out together. So all you do is flip it over, and it is triggered by gravity. So voila, we have salt and light. Mind blown. You need one of these in your life. Kitchen Mama has given me a 10% off coupon just for you guys. The link will be in my description box. Just use code JenniferH10 to redeem your discount. Thank you so much, Kitchen Mama, for another amazing product. I am loving mine. I'm also seasoning my chicken with garlic powder and pepper. And to my large skillet, I'm adding about a tablespoon of olive oil, and then we'll go ahead and add the chicken in. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and allow the chicken to brown up before I add any of the remaining ingredients. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and make my teriyaki sauce. You can buy this already made, but I was feeling fancy this night, so here we go. This recipe calls for a half a cup of chicken broth, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar. You can also use apple cider vinegar if you do not have rice vinegar, no big deal. And 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'm just going to go ahead and whisk all these ingredients together and set it aside for use in a moment. And I ain't gonna lie, this would be a lot better using fresh veggies, but I just ain't got time for that right now. So I'm throwing in this 20-ounce bag of broccoli stir fry and calling it a night. So basically I'm just gonna allow it to cook through. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the sauce in that I just made. All right, now we're just going to allow that sauce to marry with the chicken and the veggies, and dinner is done, you guys. Along with the rice, I served this Japanese dish with some French bread. We just traveled all over tonight except to the produce aisle, where I may go next time. No, this was yummy, you guys. Alright, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up before you leave. It really does help my channel out, and I certainly appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and until next time, keep them fed.